Alright, so I'm gonna go through a few drawings I've done since the summer. Just because it's good to talk about your own work and unpack it, and so these are some 14 by 17. I should probably taken the sleeves off, but whatever. 14 by 17 drawings with pencil. I've been working, trying to work quickly and be focused in the amount of space I use. Partially because my life doesn't allow me to get too detailed or take a lot of time with things. So mostly lately I've been playing with a couple of different pencil thicknesses, 3 pencils actually, using a classic Ticonderoga. I've got these kind of softer Blackwing, whatever this is a 602 Palomino. Half the pressure, twice the speed, it says. And then my favorite, big old knobby, big heavy thing. Feels great. Big fat push button. I gotta find a refill soon. And then I use these guys for a lot of the letter form stuff. I like that I can fill the shape or mess with the shape or actually leave it empty. So this is one I like a lot, actually, and I think I kept trying to get back to this one. I think I just like the specificity of it. And this W, I really like how the repetition of the angles, and the contrast between the sharp triangle and this kind of abstractions, these two different ovals that are filled in differently, unfinished, heavy, a lighter gradient, and then these weird little triple parentheses that I kind of like comic book motion lines when the character's like they're trying to show that he's moving or shaking. Also something you see in like web code a lot, and used in emojis and different sorts of like non-grammatical communication. You can see I got them again here. They also remind me of like the Wi-Fi symbol, and I don't know. I like them. I like to throw them on things. So this one to me, I think is a really successful drawing, and I really like it. I was trying to get back to it. I like this one too. I've got like these sort of like cowl horn ears, but like a jack or queen card, face cards, the up and the down. Got my middle school Slayer reference, 666. More of these parentheticals, a geometric, poorly drawn cube, because drawing them perfectly doesn't really seem to like do anything for me or tell me anything. It's like, great, there's a perfectly drawn cube, but like a smashed, flattened one does more to interact with the actual flat surface of a drawing, and I'm not trying to be three-dimensional, so why try to be three-dimensional? I used to do a lot of these ovals. They were black. I called them black seeds. This was like back in like 05. I was doing this process-based painting and with like shellac and drywall, spackle, building materials, collage, and I'd put these black ovals in them. They sort of anchored the space and created like this negative space where the eye could kind of settle in within this chaos. And now they've sort of become emptied out, and now they feel more akin to diagrams that you would see in like my web work, user experience design or user flow diagrams. I've got the word power in there written upside down, smashed between the arrow, also a web UI reference, user interface reference. And so some of these other things, this shape, these are more ways to sort of contain the composition and amplify or support other things that might be a little more specific in my mind. They might not look literal, but some of these, a lot of my drawing is about developing its own symbol language, its own glossary of iconography. And so a little caption here, but it's more like an asemic writing where it references the approach to writing or the moves in writing, but not, doesn't mean anything. A cape reference could be a ghost reference. I got these little ghost dudes that appear everywhere. That's sort of an unfinished, incomplete, I don't know whose it is, but I just like the shape. So it's more like pushing, taking an existing thing and then stretching it or pushing it or taking it apart somehow and putting it back together, I guess. Here's another one. I like this word. And so like here's this word well to me is multi-use. Is it a deep hole in the ground that provides water? Is it an adjective describing how someone's feeling? Is it a sarcastic response to something uncomfortable in the room? Like, well, that just happened. I don't know. But that's why the word is entertaining to me. Sever also, severe, sever, I don't know. The repetition, it says Eve in the middle, which I didn't really realize until just now. So very tight composition, simple, focused, a couple of consistent pieces, the typography, the ghost, with some other additional elements to kind of activate and stress it out, I guess, or conflate or ask a question. I have no idea. These shapes just felt like a natural sort of thing to apply, but not in any, we recognize them as drops of liquid, but they're sort of nondescript, so they can be, any meaning can be applied. So those are 3 really successful drawings I like personally from this past summer. I have a huge stack of things and all varying qualities, and I have a bunch of things I've been doing recently, sort of becoming more refined. I'm not sure, after I moved and reset out my studio, I had a place to work, because I work here that's where I work all day for my job, so I have a little more time to come and look at things throughout the day and do a little more specific sort of visual thinking. So some of the ideas I started in the summer in these like simpler drawings, I've kind of wanted to like push and fill the space a little bit more and take a little more time with organizing my ideas. I got a little more web diagrams, and this is often something that happens when I'm actually doing it in my job, and then I come over here and I draw it again, but as a sort of like, awesome, I don't have to apply any meaning or purpose to it. A little more moves of writing. It's like drawing about writing. Some little cartoon, comic, sketchbook, doodle type things I like to apply. So again, developing a symbol language, putting them in different combinations with each other, in order to generate new sort of visual language-ish constructs. It could be a sentence. I always think of them as sentences, these drawings, statements. Letters are images that point to the idea, the construct of verbal communication after all. So that's what these are doing to me, I guess. Anyway, there's another thing that I did, a little more different, I guess, different, but more focused. This frame required me to think in a little more tighter, in a tighter way. And then I have a stack of old record sleeves that have aged that I just like the color of, and they're probably totally non-archival, but I work on those from time to time also. Throw in some color in there, some marker, All right, well, that's all I got to say about that right now.